So I haven't done one of these videos in quite some time, so I thought this week let's talk about visas that you need to come and live in Mauritius. It might be a long one, so I do suggest you grab yourself a cup of coffee or another suitable beverage, and let's discuss these visas. So there are quite a few visas and permits that are available to you. So what I've done in this video is I've split it up into 6 different segments or sections. Section 1 is the OP or occupation permit, which is split up into investor, professional and self-employed. Section 2 is the residence permit for retired non-citizens and dependents. Section 3 is residence permit through property acquisition. Section 4 is the young professionals occupation permit. Section 5 is the PRP or permanent residence permit, and Section 6 is the premium visa for digital nomads. So let's get straight into it. So the investor permit is available to you when you invest in a startup or a business and you need at least $50,000 in order to do this. The other requirement is that you need to make at least 4 million rupees within the 3rd year of running the business or the startup. So this is highly attainable. It's pretty easy to do, and it's a great way to come into the country if you want to invest. This visa is valid for 10 years and is renewable. There are 2 versions of this visa. The one is the innovative startup. If you can prove that you have a really cool startup with a business plan, you can start with 0 investment. If you can show that you're doing great research and development and your product is unique, then there will be 0 capital investment. The other investor's permit is the high-tech equipment and machinery visa. So if you're bringing in 3D printers or medical machinery, then that's another area that the government is very keen on getting involved in. So the initial investment that you're going to need for this visa is $25,000 and it's valid for 10 years. They do require that the $25,000 also needs to be coupled with the value of the high technology machines and equipment, totaling a value of $50,000. After the 3rd year of the registration of this business, you're going to have to prove that your annual gross turnover is at least 4 million rupees. The second occupation permit that I want to talk about is the professional occupation permit. So that's when you come into Mauritius to work, you find a job here, they will apply for the permit for you, and you need to be earning at least $1,500 a month. So that's 60,000 rupees a month. So here you could be a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, anything like that, and you can come here and you can work. This visa is valid for 10 years and is renewable. Also, if you have a spouse or dependents, they can also come in with you on this visa. They will have their own residence permit, but we will talk more about that later. The next option would be a self-employed visa, and this may well be one of the best options for coming into the country. So here what you'll need to do is transfer $35,000 into an account. The account must be in your name or your company name. The great thing is that this money can be used to start up your company. That means it can be used to draw a salary or to rent office space. In other words, that money isn't just stuck into an account and you can't use it. It's actually funds that are available to you. Your business will need to generate an annual income of 800,000 rupees as from the 3rd year of registration. So this really is quite a good option if you want to come here and you want to start up your own business. Moving on to section 2 of this video, and let's talk about the residence permit for retired non-citizens and also for dependents. So if you want to come here and retire on the retirement visa, you're going to need to be above 50 years of age and you're going to need to have at least $1,500 worth of available funds every single month, or $18,000 a year. You can invest in a business or a property with this visa, but you cannot work with that organization or earn a salary. This is valid for 10 years. You can also apply for a 20-year permanent residence permit after 3 consecutive years. You can also be granted a permanent residence permit if you are a dependent of an occupation permit holder or a retired non-citizens permit holder. So this could be a great option if you want to come and live here and enjoy a fantastic lifestyle on this island. Moving on to section 3, and this is where you could gain a residency visa by buying property. So this could be either an IRS, an RES, a PDS, or a ground plus 2 flat or apartment. And here you're going to need to spend at least $375,000. Please do note that this visa is only valid while you own a property on the island. So just to clarify, because it can be a little confusing because there are different property schemes and developments, basically an IRS is usually a larger house or villa with a large piece of land and a private pool. Then something like an RES and a PDS will be smaller properties, usually within a complex. And then a ground plus 2 or a property in a smart city is usually a complex, so there would be a gym and shops and a school and all sorts of things included within that property. And these properties generally tend to be smaller than, for example, an IRS. So a ground plus 2 means that the property must have at least 3 floors. So the ground floor and then 2 other levels. And as a foreigner or a non-Mauritian citizen, you can also buy on the ground floor. Minimum investment is 6 million rupees. So this actually is a really good option if you want to buy an apartment or a flat here on the island. Another good thing to know is that a non-citizen who's wanting to buy into an IRS, RES and PDS is exempted from the requirement to hold an occupation or work permit to invest and work in Mauritius. Sure, this is thirsty work. If you feel you need more info or help with relocation to this island, I have now partnered with a relocation specialist. He has a wealth of knowledge and experience with regards to all things relocation related. So do pop me an email and I can guide you in the right direction. Okay, so let's move on to section 4. This is the Young Professionals Occupation Permit. So basically, if you're studying and if you have completed at least some form of education in the higher tertiary education system, then you can come here and you can work. The student also must have completed an internationally recognized professional certification equivalent, at least at an undergraduate degree dispensed by a registered institution in Mauritius. If you look at the EDB website, it states that once you have finished your studies, you have 6 months to find a job. The company who employs you will then apply for a young professionals permit on your behalf. So this is really great news. If you have kids here and they're studying here, basically they're encouraged to stay on and get a job. So they'll have 6 months in order to get a job here too. Another great thing is that previously your kids were your dependents, and once they reach the age of 24, they would no longer be on your permit. They have scrapped that, so now your children can stay as long as they like. Just be aware that this is strictly monitored, so I'm going to leave a PDF in the link in the description below, and you can click on that, check out page 18, and also there's all sorts of other information for you on that PDF all about these visas, so do check that out. The next section of this video is section 5, and this is the PRP, also known as the Permanent Residency Permit. So basically, if you've been in the country on any of the visas that I've spoken about previously, and you've been here for more than 3 years, you can apply now for a 20-year PRP. So this really is a great option if you've decided Mauritius is a fantastic place and you want to live here long term, then the PRP is the one to go for. And then the last section of this video, we're going to talk about the premium visa, and this is a really popular visa at the moment. We've got lots of people coming in on this particular visa. Basically, it's great if you're a digital nomad. So in other words, if you've decided you'd love to experience Mauritius for a year or so, then you can apply for the premium visa and you can continue your work as long as it's based in another country. You can do all your work but live in Mauritius. So a really great option. If you're not sure whether you want to really live here, you can come on the premium visa, you can experience it, and then later on down the line, if you want to change to an occupation permit, or you want to retire or whatever you want to do, then you can do that later on down the line. line. So there are lots of different visa options available to you if you want to come and live on this island. If you enjoy this content, give me a like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, I do love coffee, so do consider supporting the channel by buying me a coffee. I've left a link in the description below to a PDF which explains all these visas. Also check out the EDB website for up-to-date important information pertaining to all these visas. Anyway, I'm gonna love and leave you. Consider watching this video about beaches in Mauritius, or maybe this one about relocation. Anyway, catch ya on the next one. See ya.